this one hair. What are you doing? Okay. Hello everybody, my name is Kelsey and we're about to get very, very nerdy with the books that I bought in August. So today I have about 10-ish books to show you, so a little bit more than last month, but not nearly as bad as June. I'm not quite sure we're ever going to get that bad again. That was a lot. But I feel like the need for an intro for these is significantly less. So let's just go in and talk about the books that I acquired in the month of August. So the first book, and I say book because it's actually a series, is the Wicked Villains series. It is long. There's about 6 books, I want to say, and I think I have all 6. Whatever's currently out right now, that's what I have. I believe there are 6. These are by Katie Robert, and I'm gonna put like either if I could find all of the covers, they'll be here, but if not, then I'll put the first one. These I know like almost nothing about, but they are basically like smutty romance books surrounding Disney villains, and like that sounds amazing. I love me a good smutty romance that like some people would think are terrible. I love all the cliches, and I've heard that this is really good. Heard from a few people that they are amazing. So I feel like these are going to be read soon, or at least the first one's going to be read soon. But like they're each surrounding a different villain, a different like situation. So I will leave the link down below to the Amazon page where it's got like the entire series laid out for you, and each book has specific trigger warnings and content warnings about like some of the romantic and sexual things that happen in it. So if you are curious about them, check out that link because they're all different for each book, and it's a very comprehensive list. And like if you want to know, if you're interested, I think that they did a very good job. But I grabbed all of these. I don't know why. The first one sounded interesting, and then for some reason the brain in me was like, get all of them. So I did. So that's the first 6 books, but like I counted them as one because they're all on my Kindle, but they're all individual. I did the thing, okay? The next one is another cheap ebook that I got. I'm really good at finding like cheap ebooks apparently, but it is the ebook of The Deep by Rivers Solomon. This is one that has been traveling around for a while. My library doesn't have this book and I really want to read it, and I think it's going to be really impactful, so I bought the ebook for like $2 because then I can like highlight things that are happening in it, and I think it will work really, really well. This book follows the descendants of pregnant African slave women who were thrown off the ships into the ocean, and they have like morphed into this siren mermaid-esque group of people, and it follows our main character, who I don't know what the official title of her is, but basically like she's the keeper of the memories because they're so painful that like they don't want everyone to have them, so she keeps them, and then once a year she shares them with everybody, and it's a very like hard experience on her, and I think she decides she doesn't want to do it anymore and like goes on an adventure. I'm not entirely sure. I've heard that it is harrowing and like rough, but I think that'll be really good to read. So this is one that I've had my eye on for quite a while. I've seen tons of people talk about this one on BookTube, but I decided to get my hands on it, and I decided to go with the ebook copy of it because I think it'll be really good, and I want to like highlight a ton of like things within this book, and ebooks are the easiest form for me to do that. So I grabbed a copy of this and I am happy about it. The next one is one that I actually bought for my husband because it was his birthday last month, so this was his birthday present from me, and that is called The Office by Andy Green. This is the untold story of the greatest sitcom of the 2000s. He is a huge Office fan, so this is just a story about the show, and he is currently reading it. I don't know if you can see that, so I think I did good. The next one is another Kindle book that I bought, and it is called Calamity Under the Chandelier. I have no explanation for why I got this. I think it was free. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I think it was a free ebook. And my husband and I just finished watching the Miss Franny Fisher murder mystery, or whatever that series is called. and that's set in the 20s in Australia, and it's about a female detective. And so I'm in that like mindset. I just want more things like that. So this is right up that alley. So it basically follows our main character, Cora, who is a like Hollywood starlet, and she elopes with like an English earl and decides to go with him to England to kind of like calm the family down from the fact that they just eloped. And then while she's there, there's a snowstorm she gets trapped in, and a chandelier falls on somebody and kills them. And suspicion falls, I think, on her friend, so she's trying to solve this mystery. And it's a detective story, and it's set in England, and there's an earl. I'm so excited. The next one that I picked up is a new book that, like, I'm so excited about. Like, I want to read it in October because I think it's going to be great. And that is Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Barron. This is the just absolutely gorgeous paperback copy that I grabbed. I'm so excited to read this. But basically, this takes place 200 years after Cinderella finds a prince. And if I understand correctly, every time there's a dance, maidens go to the dance. They have to be picked by a guy. And if they're not picked by a prince or a guy, they die. But our main character, whose name is Sophia, is actually in love with a girl and does not want to do that. So it sounds like an adventure story, but it's got some like LGBTQIA plus representation in here with our main character. And I'm really excited to see what's going to happen because it gives me kind of like spooky mystery vibe. And like this cover, y'all, I just can't get over the cover. It's so pretty. But the minute I heard it was kind of like a retelling or reimagining of the world of Cinderella, or based on Cinderella in any way, I was like, this needs to be in my hand, because when I was a girl, Cinderella was my favorite princess. So I just needed this in my hands. And it's been getting a lot of hype lately, and I believe it came out a couple of months ago. I don't know why I'm looking at the copyright. It's only going to tell me the year. It's not going to tell me the month. I believe it came out relatively recently, so I'm excited to dive into this book. Hopefully next month. We'll see. Fingers crossed. So the next 3 books that I have on this list are actually ones that I don't know what they're about because Chris bought them. So we're going to go grab him because he's going to know more about them than I do. Can I borrow you?
I suppose.
I don't think you're going to fit. Oh no. That's not how that works. That kind of worked if you don't move. Okay. Tell us about your books. Well, here, start with this one.
So last year, I bought Bench Warmers, which was the first in a new series by John. I never say it right. It's either Feinstein or Feinstein. And I know whichever one I say it's going to be the opposite of. But I bought Bench Warmers last year. So this is the sequel to that one. It's called Game Changers. That one dealt with sexism in soccer. This one looks like it deals with racism in basketball. It's the same characters. Like, I think it's immediately after the last one. Like, I think it's soccer in the fall, basketball in the winter. So I think it is immediately following, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Are these part of the same series?
These are part of the same series.
Okay, then here you go. Here's your other 2.
Okay, these 2 are part of the Sports Beat series. I've had the Rivalry for a while, but I had it in paperback, so I got it in hardback. And then this is number 5 in the series, and then this is number 6 in the series, and it's called Rush for the Gold. The entire series follows these 2 13, 14-year-olds who are sports reporters at 13 or 14. They won a contest and went to the Final Four, and then they went to the U.S. Open, and then the Super Bowl, and then the World Series, and then the Army-Navy game, and then for this one they're at the Olympics. They're always mysteries. They're uncovering some big plot. These books made me think for a hot second I might want to be a sports writer, but then I remembered that involves writing, and you don't want me to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you!
You're welcome!
I don't know how to get this camera back to before. Oh no! So the very, very last book that I have to talk about is actually a gift. And I'm losing my mind about it. But it is Moxie by Jennifer Batu. And the lovely Michelle from Michelle Reads YA bought this for me and sent it my way. Obviously, I will leave her link down below. And I'm so glad. Y'all, if y'all remember, I read this book in June, I want to say? Earlier this year, I read this book and absolutely loved it and, like, want my own copy of it. And so, she sent it my way. And I'm, like, losing my mind. Thank you so much. This book was fantastic. I'll leave my review linked above or down below or something. But basically, it's just like a super feminist story that takes place in a high school in Texas, if I can remember correctly. Yes. And, like, it's like, this high school is very sexist. And, like, our main character, Viv, is finally like, screw y'all, I'm gonna stand up, and, like, creates this little magazine called Moxie. And the things that stem from that. It was so good. I loved it so much. I remember giving it 5 stars, but now that I have my own copy, I can reread it at some point and then tab all the things that I wanted to highlight and tab but couldn't because the book that I had was not mine. So, thank you again, Michelle. I will be losing my mind about this for the next couple of weeks. It's also going to be a motion picture movie. I missed that part. Do you see this? I'm fine. Everything is fine. I am not freaking out in the slightest. That's not me. Anyway, I loved this book, and I'm so glad that I have my own copy now that I can peruse and tab and annotate and do all the fun stuff with. And it's floppy. There are so many things. So, again, thank you, Michelle, for sending this my way. And now I have my hands on it, and I couldn't be happier. So these are the books that this household, I'll say this household, picked up in August. Forgot the month there for a second. August, plus the few, like, Kindle books that I had. So not too large of a stack. And I feel better considering that, like, these are all for my husband and these 2 are for me. So, like, I did pretty good this month. Next month is going to be a different story, though. I can tell you that for sure. I pre-ordered some things. I did things, it's fine. But these are the books that I picked up. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you've read any of the books that I haven't mentioned in this video, please let me know. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below if you want to be part of this awesome growing family. I have my social media down there as well if you want to follow along on any of those, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Oh, I'm so excited! I turned into a banshee there for a second.